Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchunwobi Daniel. In case you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been consistent on here, but I'll definitely tell you guys the reason of my inconsistency. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I matched my client's foundation. She is extremely light skinned, and trust me, you don't want to miss this video. And if you're interested in knowing how I achieved the look, it's actually a full look, not just the foundation, please keep on watching. Okay, so starting off with cleansing her face with this Ghanaian micellar water. I cleansed her face. This was makeup I did earlier today. She came quite early, and I decided to film this look because I've really not done a makeup on an extremely fair client. Guys, forget what you're seeing on here. She is really light, and trust me, before I bought the foundation, I was wondering who I was going to be using it on. Okay, my plan was in case I have an Oyibo client, but then again, we have Nigerians that have Oyibo color. I hope you understand that. So I decided to buy it, and do you guys know that these two foundations I used on her, she is the only client I've used it on. I haven't used it on anybody, so I just kept it separately for her because that is exactly what works for her. So first of all, I moisturize her skin. Sorry, my voice is kind of cracked. So I moisturize her skin using the Embryolisse moisturizer. She has a bit of oily skin, and I chose Embryolisse because it goes for both oily and dry skin. Okay, so I use my brush from Becca Primer. I love this brush because it's very soft and it really blends in products well. So I went ahead to prime her face using the Becca Pore Perfecting Mattifying Primer. I use it more on her T-zone areas and also around her face where I feel that she can easily get oily, because she was going to be under the sun, and trust me guys, Nigeria is very hot now, like very hot. So you really need to use good products to keep that makeup in place. So I used the Becca Primer. Now I know that in most of my videos, when I use Hudabeauty foundations, most times I don't use primer, but this time around guys, I still use Hudabeauty and it sat really well. So using this brush from one of my Billy eyeshadow brush sets, that was exactly what I used to put the primer, because I felt it was just the best brush to apply a mattifying primer like that, because I wouldn't like to use something that already has moisturizer on it like the previous brush. That's why I took another brush, because I really wanted to mattify her face. She really gets oily, because it's not my first time of doing her makeup. I've done her makeup like, I think I've done her makeup up to 8 times or even more. So this is a way of sealing in the whole oil on her face. Okay guys, as I primed her face, I didn't prime under her eyes. So always remember that you don't prime under the eyes, because a lot of products are going to go there, like the setting powder and the concealer. So you really don't want under the eyes to be too dry. So I went ahead to use this 2 mixture foundation. This is Hudabeauty Tresleches. I don't know how it's pronounced, sounds French though, but anyways, Tresleches, that's how I pronounce it. And I mixed it with this foundation, this Lancome foundation. I'm going to leave the number in the description box. So guys, you can see that these 2 foundations are exactly her shade. And if you also notice that she has a little bit of is it pink or orange? I think it's pink hyperpigmentation around her mouth. It doesn't look pink in the video, but it's actually pink. So that's Lancome foundation, has a little bit of pink undertone to it. You know why I like Oyibo foundations per se, white people's foundation, is because it has different undertones that suits their complexion. Some people are warm, some people are reddish, some of them are pinkish. So that's why I actually mix it, because Tresleches is her exact shade. But because of the hyperpigmentation, I'm really not a fan of using color correctors, because I don't want to put color correctors and start trying to use foundation to cover it up again. No. So I decided to mix the Lancome foundation with the Hudabeauty, and as you can see, it gave her the perfect shade. Look at her body and her face, everything is in sync. So guys, this video was supposed to end here, but I just decided to continue filming the whole look, even though my client was in a hurry, because usually I come to the office by 8 a.m. but she booked an appointment for 6:30 a.m. and obviously she's my favorite client. I wouldn't say no, so I decided to use the opportunity to film this look, also because I haven't filmed in a while and I haven't posted on here in a while too, so I'm not going to bore you guys with my long talk. So I went ahead to blend that foundation using my favorite beauty sponge from Glam Cosmetics. It's so soft, and I like the fact that it doesn't eat up your foundation. There are some beauty sponges that you use, and by the time you put on the foundation, everything goes into the sponge and you keep adding more products. But this one, I like the fact that it releases all the products from the sponge, and it just works for me. You know, it works for almost everybody that I know. So this is almost everybody's favorite beauty sponge. Okay, so for contour, I went ahead to use my Black Opal Stick foundation in Beautiful Bronze. I actually wanted to use a lighter foundation for the contour, but then again, she is white and I needed her to, you know, look tanned a bit. So I wanted to tan her a bit. That's why I chose this Black Opal Stick foundation in Beautiful Bronze. If you notice in other videos I've done makeup on light skin models and clients, I still use the same Black Opal. So I felt that it's supposed to be too dark on her, but I love the fact that I use very little and it tanned her the way I wanted it to, you know. So forget about how I placed everything. Blending is what matters again. I know placement is the key, but you know, when you've done makeup for a long time, you can easily get away with a lot of stuff. So I just put a little bit of that foundation on her forehead area, because that's where I want the bronzing to start, from the forehead, the cheekbones, and that's it. And I just applied on her nose just to give her a little bit of slimmer nose, which, you know, you guys already know I'm not really a nose snatcher. I'm not that makeup artist that always like snatching the nose, so I just do my best to add a little bit of shadow around that area. So I did a little bit of cream blushing using my Eye Magic palette. I used the pink color in that palette, just a little bit of it, just to add a little warmth to her face. I went ahead to blend with the same sponge, so you guys can see how everything turned out very smooth and clean, and you can also see that the hyperpigmentation has disappeared. Okay, I think I'm talking a bit fast, but I'm trying to follow up with the video. So for the highlight, I used Tarte Cosmetics. I'm going to leave the number down below in the description box, because I filmed this at home, so I can't even remember their numbers. So once I get to the studio tomorrow, I'm definitely going to take their numbers and put in the description box for you guys. So just a little bit of concealer, because this look was supposed to be a nude look. I wish I filmed the other looks I've created on her. They are bomb, but this one is so nude, like almost like I didn't really define the face, because that was actually how she wanted the makeup, but I'm happy it still turned out fine. But I made sure that everything about the skin looked beautiful and presentable. So just a little bit of that concealer to blend, because I feel that little goes a long way, and placement matters a lot, because sometimes the way you place your concealers also determines how the face is going to be. Concealers can make the face appear rounder or also thinner, depends on the placement. So I just didn't extend it out, I just put it directly under her eyes and added a little bit of lift to her eyes by extending it on the outer corner. So I try as much as possible to blend. Normally I would have added another concealer, which is Kevlar Prime, but I decided to just use this one because we are trying to maintain a very simple and matte look. So everything was matte, from her eyeshadow to her lippy. I hardly do matte lippies except it's red lippy, and when she told me that she wanted her lips matte, I was really skeptical, because I always have this feeling that matte lips, matte lips makes people look older. I don't know, but that's what I feel. And then when you place gloss, you look more youthful and girly. But I love the outcome after all, even though I know that matte isn't my thing, but it came out really nice. So to set that concealer in place, I used the Mercier translucent powder. Just a little bit of it, guys. I did not bake, I only set. So when you pick your setting powder, try as much as possible to dust it out back into the pan, because you don't want to just take a whole lot of it and just paste there. So we are trying to achieve a simple, subtle, matte look, so you have to really take it easy with the product. You don't take too much. I call it Parkinson. When they take too much of product, it's Parkinson and it doesn't come out nice. You start looking like a masquerade or something. So you have to take it easy when taking that setting powder, because it can give you the subtle look, and it can also give you the dramatic look. So just to be able to blend it out easily, that's why I went really little, and because we're trying to achieve a subtle look. So I think I've repeated myself enough. Okay, that's it basically. So just setting everywhere that I place that concealer. Little goes a long way. Remember, little goes a long way. Very little. So I went ahead to powder her face. For powder, I used the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in oh my god, medium golden, I guess, yes. And then Sephora powder. I don't know the shade, but I'm definitely going to leave the number in the description box. So I use more of the medium golden, that's the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, because it's close to her skin tone. And for her skin tone, guys, I prefer to just go with a setting powder all over her face than to use a powder, because sometimes her skin, when you think you're using the exact shade of powder on her face, it tends to oxidize. I've experienced it before on her. So what I do is I try as much as possible to use something that is a bit lighter than her. So to add a little bit of tan, just like I said earlier, because I used the stick foundation in Beautiful Bronze, so I'm going to reinforce that contour. So it's more like I'm bronzing, but I'm contouring at the same time, just to warm up her skin tone. So this is Fenty Beauty in Eyeliner Ting. When I was buying it, my friends felt like it's not going to show on anybody, but obviously I have a client that needs this particular bronzer. So if you are extremely white and you're looking for a bronzer that will suit your skin, this island thing is awesome. And there's another one if you're a bit in the very warm orangey undertone, you can get Fenty Beauty in Bajangal. It's also nice. So island thing I felt was perfect because it gave her the bloom that I actually wanted, and the glow is still very, very subtle. So I'm going to use the same island thing to, reinforce the nose contour I did earlier. I'm going to blend that all out because I don't want it to be too much. Yeah, so I'm going to take my time and still blend it out. And afterwards, I will go ahead to do the brows. So for the brows, I used my shopbellesbeauty pencil. I love this pencil because it's natural, and for people that are really light skin, it's so light and it's not thick. It gives you that natural stroke. So that was why I decided to use it on this client, because I can't obviously use Beauty Line by DD or any other pencil. So shopbellesbeauty is the perfect pencil. So I think I'm too in a hurry to, do the voiceover, but this one I didn't mention. I did a reverse contour using the same setting powder I used earlier, which is the Mercier translucent powder, just to carve out that contour. I really want it to, her face to appear a bit slimmer. So that was why I went ahead to do that. So after that, then I had to do the brows. At this time, she was really, really, really in a hurry. I had to speed up everything, because I had just 40 minutes to do her makeup, but obviously because I'm filming, it took more than 40 minutes. Normally I could do makeup for 30 minutes and still get it slayed. So for the brows, I use shopbellesbeauty. You can copy yours. I'm going to leave the link in the description box in case you want to buy. And also I have them in my studio for sale. If you're based in Enugu, you can shop this pencil from my studio. So because our client is light, I'm trying as much as possible to keep those brows natural. So each strokes I add, I try to brush through because I don't want the brows to be clustered in any way. That way you feel that I overdid it. And also, whenever I'm working on people with blonde hair, I also try as much as possible not to make the brows too dark, because if it's too dark, definitely it's not going to blend in with the hair. So I'm just following up with what she has on her hair, which is the blonde weave. So I'm trying to brush through so that we can have a natural feel. So you can see that the brow looks like the roots of the blonde wig, right? That's exactly what I wanted to achieve. So to conceal, I use Kevin Klein concealer in 07. Using this my favorite angle brush, Naked 5. You guys already know. I literally do brows for like 2 minutes and I'm done. Especially when I do skin first. Okie dokie. So I finished off with the brows and I went ahead to use this Benai Clown White. So this Benai Clown White is an eyeshadow primer. So this was exactly what I used for the nude eyeshadow I did on her. So you guys already know most times I use just the concealer from the brow definition and just blend it down, and you go ahead with the eyeshadow. But because I'm doing nude eyes, I wanted the eyeshadow to pop a little bit so that it won't look dull. I didn't want the nude to look like nude, so that was why I opted for the eye primer, the Menai Clown White. I really love it because I love the consistency. It really holds down your eyeshadow without moving. It's not slippery, and very tiny goes a long way, like very tiny. You can buy this primer and use it for like 6 years, guys. Trust me. Little goes a long way. So I'm blending out the primer using this brush from Beauty Line by Didi. I know they've changed their name on Instagram. I think it's shopbellesbeauty or so. So for eyeshadow, I'm using this eyeshadow palette from Kamsiscollection. This is their Diva palette, and I really love the colors on it. The nude, the pink, the browns. It's perfect for neutral look and also for bridal look. So this is my go-to palette for looks like this, and I love the fact that the eyeshadow is very pigmented. Little goes a long way. You can see that there are no cracks. Just use a flat brush and place it. And for the eye brushes, I used Becca eyeshadow set. I really love them because it's fluffy, it's soft, and I love the fact that you can pick products and put products in place too without having no cracks. So I'm going to use the light brown just as my depth and also as my transition. Because it's nude, I don't want it to be too dark around that area. So whatever I place there, I'm going to blend and diffuse it into the crease just to avoid having it clustered. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm sure you guys didn't really get to see that part well. At this point, I was really in a hurry. I know you guys will say I'm always in a hurry. I hardly have time to film. Honestly, I hardly have time to film. I wish I can film every day because it's fun for me. But then again, most of the time, these clients, when they book appointments, they keep to time, and maybe you have another client on the way. You have to put your table in place and all that. So that reminds me, I have a table setup video, so you guys can click and watch it. So now I'm going to diffuse that color, that brown color, using the same bronzer I used earlier, the Fenty Beauty in Eyeliner Ting. So I'm going to connect the nose contour into the crease line. Make sure that I blend it. You have to keep blending so you don't have harsh lines. You guys already know I hate it, so we blend, like the light depends on it. So in between the light brown and the nude, I'm going to still put the Eyeliner Ting bronzer because I don't want it to be too dark in that area. This will help diffuse the brown a little bit. As you can see, there's a whole lot of difference, right? Yeah, things we do with makeup, you can always improvise with things you never knew it would work. But bronzers are my new transition, so it works for me. So to blend out the concealer, you know that we didn't set the brow bone after I didn't set the brow bone after I used concealer. So I'm using the Safar powder to just set that area and also indirectly blend out the harsh lines from the bronzer, which will help minimize the harsh lines. So I'm still going back with the other brush which I used in blending, putting the bronzer there to also blend out so that it will look as if the powder has taken out the transition. So you can see I went back with the same brush without adding the bronzer, just to intensify the crease color back, the transition color. So I went ahead to line her eyes using my favorite gel liner in glock number 77. You guys know I can't use any other. I can't use any other. This is my go-to. I don't like to run out of it. So whenever I'm buying, I shop like 5 to 6 of it. Because once I'm running out of one, I'm very sure that I already have another one to use. So I'm going to keep it very tiny when it comes to the lining. Using this angled brush. I think I bought this brush from AliExpress like 2 years ago. And it's been serving me. As you guys know that this lining thing, it's so scary. Biggest challenge. My brush has to be pointy. I have to be in the right mood to get my liner right. Trust me, I make mistakes when it comes to lining, and I know nobody's perfect. But anyways, I try my best most of the time. I'm sorry that you guys can't see the rest of the stuff I'm doing. Just like when it comes to this lining, I have to position myself in a way that I feel very comfortable in lining so that I don't make a mistake. And trust me, you don't want to make mistakes with Inglot gel liner. Guys, this one is not the one that concealer can correct. It will not correct anything. So if you are using this gel liner, I'd advise you take a deep breath, stand still, keep your hands straight. You have to be in the right position before you line with this liner. So I'm already done with lining. I've also fixed her lashes, and I went ahead to use the Safar powder to blend out under the eyes from the eyeshadow fallout. I blended it out. I placed the mascara, and I'm going to be spraying her face with this MAC Fix Plus spray. So that I went ahead with her lips. So when it comes to people in her complexion, guys, you don't want to use extremely dark brown lippies. You have to use something light. In fact, if I use this lippy on myself to line, I'll look like an ape because this color is going to look like nude on my lips. So now I'm using it on hers to line the borders of her lips, and after lining I'll go ahead and use the nude color. She requested for a matte lips. So this is my Nubanbeauty lip stain in Safari. So I'm just using it to line the borders, and if you notice, my lining is bigger because I really wanted to reduce her lips. She has full lips, and you know that when people have full lips, you dare not do obvious nude lippy, because sometimes the nude even makes the lips fuller, and trust me, you won't like it. So I went ahead to just line it and blended it into the lips, and I went ahead to use these 2 nude lip stains from Kamsiscollection. They have the best lip stains, guys. If you don't have money to buy Anastasia or Fenty or this skincare sister. I don't know. If you don't have money to buy their lipsticks, you can buy Kamsis. They are not so expensive, they are quite affordable. I'm going to leave the link in the description box if you want their nude lippies. All their nude lippies are nice. I first of all used a very light one before the darker one. So Lee Signature is here to finish up with the hairstyling, and for the glow I'm using Artist Couture. I'm going to leave the number or name down below. So that's all for this look, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you enjoyed my too much talk. I decided to make it fun too for myself because it can be boring to do voiceover, so I just have to be myself. I hope I didn't bore you. Okay, so these are the places I highlighted: the forehead close to the bronzer, the tip of the bridge of the nose, the cheekbones, and the chin. So guys, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoy this look. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. Please turn on your notification bell so that you can always be notified whenever I post a new video. I love you guys, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.